Alright, so in this next video tutorial, I'm going to talk about placing the animation controllers. Yep. So, first thing I'm going to do is lock out the bones so I don't accidentally move them. Oh shoot, I have to also rebind the skin because I showed previously how to bind it. So let me pause the video and bind the skin again. Alright, so I skinned it and I did the delta mush again. Because like I said before, I had to reskin it and stuff since I unbound it in the previous video. Anyway, I'm gonna import in the animation controllers. File, import all animation controllers. This file is on the W drive in our classroom folder. I believe the classroom folder is called literally animation controllers. You can't miss it. Only way you miss it is if you try to not look for it or if you're sleep deprived, but it's there. All animation controllers, it's there. Before I hit import, I'm gonna click on use namespace. And then merge into selected namespaces and rename incoming. I think that's the one I had, but you want to check this on. And the last one, it should avoid super long naming. Yeah, there, it's clean, nice. Alright, so these are the animation controllers that I custom made for the students, right? And the first year I was here, I used just NURB circles, right? They're kind of archaic and just sometimes got in the way of selection. So these controllers, they're made from something called NURBS curves. It's very similar to say like in Illustrator, how they have those Bezier curves, right? Very similar. That's why you could import Illustrator files, Illustrator vector files into Maya and extrude them to make 3D letters. Just a side note. So these will not render. You will not see them when you render, right? They're only meant to use as to select your bones, because you don't want to animate off the bones. You want to have controllers that manipulate the bones. Hence the reason why I made these. So one of the first thing I want to do is I want to just name this just double controller, because it's double-sided. This COG, right? And I will name this P COG control. This is a double control. You know what? I'll just also name it P double control. This and single control. I'm taking off the word sided because it starts to end up being a long name. And then this, I'll name it P global control, right? So there you have it. Okay, I'm gonna hide the mesh for now. The reason why I use different controllers is it's just visually just help to see things differently, differentiate different controllers from each other. Also, hence the color is different. Yeah. I'm going to hide the global controller for now, pressing H. I'm going to, first thing I'll do is grab the COG for center of gravity controller, right? and I'm gonna hold V as in Victor, hold V as in Victor, and I'm just gonna snap it to the root controller. I repeat, I snap, move and snap, holding V as in Victor to the root bone. See this root joint, right? You grab the COG controller and you hold V and you move and snap it there. V as in Victor. That's the first thing that you do. Next, you want to select this, and you see how there's data in here. You do not want to have data. I repeat, you do not want to have data in any of your controllers. That's one of the main reasons why, top 3 reasons why rigs are compromised and resulting in below C minus or C grade. So you need to freeze this. Freeze transformations is here. See? Freeze transformations. You know what? I'm gonna put it on the shelf too. Edit or modify. Freeze transformations. Control Shift left click. This is freeze transformations as well. This and this. Sometimes I just have it all here so I don't have to go here and here, here and here. But this is freeze transformations. So now when I select the COG controller, it's cleared out. Okay, I'm gonna put the mesh back on for a second. Right, as you can see, I can grab it easily because it's outside of the mesh. Next, let's say I want to use the single control, meaning single-sided. This is double for double-sided. Right, so let's say I want to use this, and I want to stick it here. Well, if I hold V as in Victor and I try to snap it, it kind of goes all over the place because it's getting confused and trying to snap to the mesh as well. Hence, like I said before, there's a reason why you make these display layers, to hide it and then go back in. See, it's not even there. Hold V as in Victor and snap it. See, then I'll turn the mesh back on and you notice that it's just barely peeping out of the mesh, which is not exactly what I want. There's reasons why. So I want to grab this, right, and I'm going to right click on it, right click on it, control vertex. I repeat, you right click on the line to activate and choose the component mode. Just like with polygons, these NURBS curves have components to them. Where you want the control vertex, grab that and pull it out a bit more. And after I pull it out, right, I right click and I go to object mode. Right click, object mode, click outside. And I just stick it out a little bit more so that it doesn't get swallowed up by the mesh when the mesh articulates or the bones articulate. There. This is also inside the rigging specific topics guide. So that's that. I'm going to freeze transformation. See this? Freeze transformations. As a matter of fact, I'm going to select this bone, right? I'm going to copy the name of this bone, right? This bone is correlated to this controller. See how it's right next to it, or sitting flush in it, right? So I'm going to double click here. I'm going to highlight everything, control V. So I paste the name of the bone in here, and I'm gonna take out control. I'm gonna type in I'm gonna take out the word joint, and I'm gonna type in control. So P spine control 01. So the naming is very similar to P spine joint 01. This is P spine control 01, right? In my older videos, you know, I didn't go through the hassle and the meticulous process of renaming the controllers as the same thing as the bones, but now I am, because it's just a good habit. Yeah, so here it is. I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna duplicate it, Control D as in David. So P spine control 2, I'm gonna lift it up and I'm gonna hold V as in Victor and I'm gonna snap it there. See? Turn on the mesh, as you can see it there. Okay. Hide the mesh. Grab this. And then I'm gonna make a copy, Control D. Hold V as in Victor, and I'm gonna snap it. This now says P spine control 3. This P spine joint 03. So the naming is spot on. This is P spine 04. But this is P head joint 00. So this I have to be to keep aware of it, to rename it. This, Control D, hold V as in Victor, snap it up here. Then freeze transformations. If I want, I'll grab all of it and also freeze transformations, just in case, because I did miss one just previously. See, if I undo it, I missed one of those. So freeze transform. You want to freeze transformations before you go through the process of combining or parenting the controllers. All right. There's this one now. So I'm thinking for this one, right, since I have multiple of these, right, let's break up the monotony of it and use the double-sided control. I'm going to hide the mesh. I'm going to hold V as in Victor, and I'm going to snap it right there. Then I'm going to copy the name of this bone, Control C. I'm going to select this controller, go in here, paste it, Control V as in Victor. I'm going to delete the word joint. I'm going to write down CNTRL there. And then I'm going to freeze transformations there. Never ever group this, right? You could group it to just, you know, temporarily organize it, right? But you have to make sure to ungroup it before you start to do other major things like parenting and constraints, which is the next step, right? This is temporary if you ever do this, so you have to make sure to undo it afterwards when you go through the process again. I'm mentioning this because it happened before just recently to another student's project. Anyway, so I froze the transformations, it's named. And turn the mesh back on. I think so this is what it would look like. I hid the bones for now, right? So I'm just imagining some things, where which type of controllers to use, right? So turn the bones back on, hide the mesh. I think I want to use a couple of more of these double-sided. Control D, then move it over a bit so you can see it. Hold V as in Victor, snap it. right there. Turn the mesh back on. So it's a bit, you know, and I think I want to grab this and I want to press R for the scale, and I'm going to just kind of scale it in a bit like that so you can kind of see it looking different just visually. See, so before I manipulated the yellow ones via the component mode, control vertex, right? This one I just scaled it down like that. See, but for sure though, interesting, it's not changing that. That's weird. Huh. I've seen that before. Should be fine. See, I got a freeze transformations there. Alright, then I'm gonna grab this again. Grab this again. Control D, hide the mesh, hold V as in Victor, and snap it there. I feel like scaling this in a bit more like that. Turn on the mesh. There. I can grab it easily. Freeze transformations. Boom. I'm gonna hide the grid line for now. Alright, so that's that part. And let me just check the name. Head joint 2. Head control 2. Head joint 1. Head control 1. Good, the naming matches. Now this one, right? So I'm gonna grab the control for head joint 2. Control D, hold V as in Victor, snap it over. See? Right. And then this one, I'm gonna just scale it down a bit more. There. I think that's the maximum I'm gonna scale it down, because then it starts to get super close. Even right now it's super close. Kind of don't like it. Scale it back out a bit. Grab this, scale this back out. Grab this, scale it back out. There. So yeah, now I can know what is what. Alright, that's good. Okay, this here, it's transformation. I'm gonna freeze it. Freeze transformation. Good. As a matter of fact, you know, I'll grab freaking all of it. Freeze transformations just to be safe multiple times. Alright, good. Then I feel like using these. The single-sided controller, because I use all of this so far. I'm gonna hide the mesh. I'm gonna duplicate this guy right here, Control D. I'm gonna chuck it over, chuck it down. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna get the name of this, copy that name. I'm gonna select this. I'm gonna paste it. Instead of joint, I'm gonna name control. Again, the way you copy is Control C, right? Copying the name, and then Control V to paste the name, and hit enter. Whatever you do, you don't want to do Control C, Control V on actual objects, right? You only do Control C and V for words. Anyway, grab this, hold V as in Victor, and snap it there. Press E as in Edward, rotate it down, like that. Turn on the mesh. I feel like I want to just rotate it down like this, or something like that-ish. Maybe I feel like, do I think it's too far down? Kind of. Maybe I'll just change the size of it. I'm going to right click on it, control vertex. Right click, control vertex. When you right click, you gotta make sure to hover over the actual line to activate it. Grab it and just chuck it up a bit. Yeah, that's good. Then right click on it, object mode. Boom. There. I need to freeze transformations. Freeze. Head joint 4. Head control 4. Then control D, made a copy, hold V as in Victor, snap it. Then give a bit of a rotation on one axis only, right? So I get a nice, see, like this. Hide the mesh, grab this, and freeze transformation. Sure, why not? Control D, made a copy, hold V as in Victor, snap it. Press E, rotate it a bit like that. Grab it, freeze transforms. Good. Control D, made a copy, hold V as in Victor, snap it. E as in Edward, rotate it. Rotate it. Only one channel is rotating. Freeze transform. Turn on the mesh. Maybe I'll grab it and rotate it down a bit. I feel like this should be longer, so I'm gonna right click on it, control vertex, grab it. Pull out a bit. Like so. Freeze transform. Feel like changing this a bit. Right click on it, vertex mode, grab it, press 4, and just pull it out a bit. See, right click, control vertex, right click, object mode. It's a little bit crooked, but it's fine. Grab this, control D, hold V as in Victor, snap it. E, press E and rotate it. I'm going to grab this. I'm not going to freeze transform just yet. Control D, hold V as in Victor, snap it, press E, rotate it. Grab this, control D as in David, hold V as in Victor, snap it. Snap it right there. See how it's snug? Hold, press E as in Edward, rotate it. Grab it, control D, hold V as in Victor, snap it. And then lastly, grab this, control D, hold V as in Victor, snap it, press E, rotate it. Turn on the mesh, backspace, space bar, there. So this is the process. I'm gonna grab this, maybe give a slight little rotation like that. Grab that, maybe give a slight rotation like that. This is just purely visual aesthetics. For the sake of being able to grab the controller easier. Yeah, hide the mesh. Show the mesh, hide the bones. There we go. There. Turn on the bones, hide the mesh. Hide the bones. grab all the controllers, freeze transformations. Always freeze transformations before you start parenting. Yeah. Then you have the leftovers, these guys. So I think I feel like grabbing this, and then because this is spine 05, so it would make sense this is spine control 04, so I'm going to do that. Control D, hold V as in Victor, snap it. Control D, hold V as in Victor, snap it. Control D, hold V as in Victor, snap it. I'm gonna grab all the controllers again. Just for the hell of it, I'm gonna freeze transform. Wipe out everything. You do not freeze transform on the bones. Leave the bones alone. Do not move the bones at all. Well, once you're happy with the setup, right? And especially when you already did the skinning and stuff. So that's the placement of everything, and the names are all set up correctly, right? They're correspondingly correct, right? Yeah. And then I can show the global control down here, and that's everything for placing the controllers. The next video I have to talk about parenting the controllers. When you parent the controllers, they're gonna look just like the bones hierarchy, right? So that's the next tutorial. I'm gonna name this as controllers placed. There. So that's the end of this tutorial. Bye.